Hi guys, I'm Shelley and welcome to the I Love My Library book haul! Woohoo! Plus, maybe just a few I bought because they're just so pretty and I can't help myself. So I will jump straight in to the ones I got at the library. I went in and to pick up like one book and I came out with a pile of them. Starting with Jill Mansell, The Unpredicted Consequences of Love. This follows Sophie, who is a photographer. She lives in Cornwall. And she doesn't get into relationships because the last relationship she was in ended really badly, and there was a guy, Josh, he has a thing for her and he keeps asking her out and she keeps saying no, and I'm gonna guess by the end of the book they'll probably be together. I'm about halfway through and it's just nice and not too taxing and just making me happy reading it. The next one I got was The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I have no idea what this is about. I just picked it up because Neil Gaiman. I've read one of his books before, Neverwhere, and fell in love with it. I honestly didn't think my library would have this in for ages because it's a pretty new book. But I guess they just had a pile of new books come in suddenly, and so I picked it up because Neil Gaiman-ness, and I'm looking forward to kind of diving in and finding out what his new writing is about. Next two I ordered from the library. My library has a lovely scheme where if they don't have the book you want, they go around all the local libraries and see if they have it and then get it shipped into your library to go and pick up, which I think is flipping wonderful. The first book I ordered was Under Milk Wood, the definitive edition by Dylan Thomas. Now it was Dylan Thomas's centennial a little while ago, the 100 years since he was born, and the BBC did a load of things, a load of documentaries and things on him, and they also did a dramatisation of Under Milk Wood with a load of famous Welsh kind of actors and personalities, and oh my god, it was beautiful. I fell in love with the language. It's basically a play about a little sleepy coastal town that's made up, and it's very poetic, and it just kind of goes into the lives of everybody who lives there and all the little I cried, I laughed. It's haunting, it's beautiful, but it was a edited edition, so I wanted to read the whole thing and all the bits I missed, so I asked the library to get it in. And I also asked the library, I found out that they have audiobook versions, but they have 3 of them, and they ordered all 3 in for me, which I thought was amazing because they are read by 3 different people. One's read by a bunch of people, one's read by by a full cast, and then the other one is read by Richard Burton and Sean Phillips, which are 2 famous Welsh actors that I love. And so I wanted to find out which one I liked the most. So the library got them all in, and we had a bit of a laugh when I went to pick them up because the woman was like, why did you order 3 of them? I'm just like, well, I don't know which one I'm going to like. It's a good point. And where else could you do that but the library? You're not going to be able to go into like Waterstones or other bookshops that are available and pick which one you want to listen to. They're not going to let you pick all 3, take them home, and then give back the ones you don't want. I mean, yes, I have to give back one of these in the end, or all of them in the end, but I get to find out which one I like the most and maybe buy it. And I love my library so much, so I ordered those 3. And also on audiobook I ordered The Princess Diaries by Meg Cabot. This is the first in, I don't know how many there are in the series, but there's a lot of them in the series. But the reason I picked this one specifically is because it's read by Anne Hathaway, and I actually had a fest the other night and watched both movies one after the other, and this is so cool to listen to this and kind of with Anne Hathaway's voice. You can see Mia, and I'm loving it so much. It's a bit different from the movie, so it's enough to keep you on your toes, but at the same time you can just kind of relax listening to it, and it's a kind of easy read for me, and I'm loving it. It's brilliant. So that was all the library books, and then because I haven't done one of these in a while, I've got a little collection of books that I picked up here and there that I want to show you guys. First of all, linked to the library was E.M. Forster's Maurice, which is a Penguin classic. In my library they have a kind of pile of books on the side which are now ex-library books, and you can give a donation and pick a few up. And this was the only one I really was interested in because I'm trying to read more classics this year and I've never read any E.M. Forster, so I picked it up for a donation of I think about 50p, and then if I don't like it I can take it back, put it back on the table, and somebody else can pick it up. I know absolutely nothing about this book, and yeah, I just want to read more classics and it seemed like a good idea, so I picked it up. Then we get to the books that I just kind of had to buy because they're so pretty. The first being Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. I didn't actually intend on buying this book. You know that Amazon had that new thing where you can't buy anything unless you spend over £10? It was kind of one of those deals. I was trying to buy the Lily Allen album after I saw her set at Glastonbury on the telly, and I wasn't over £10, and so I went into my Amazon book wish list and found the happiest, brightest, loveliest book I could find and added it to my basket, and that was Lola and the Boy Next Door. I read Anna and the French Kiss a couple of months ago, loved it, made me happy, and so I just wanted to read the next one. Apparently there's mixed reviews about this one, but I will read it and tell you what I think. And the next one after this is Ilsa and the Happily Ever After. I'm not sure if that's out yet or it's coming out, but I mean, look at this cover. It's just so, it's summery and bright and happy, and it had to be picked up, and so I got it. And the next one is Every Day by David Levithan. I read Two Boys Kissing a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago now, and I fell in love with David's writing. There's been a lot about how books aren't diverse enough lately, and David Levithan books are completely diverse. You have different races, different ethnicities, different genders, different sexualities. You have everything all in his writing, and this one is so beautiful. It is about a boy named A. Well, he calls himself A, and he calls himself a boy, though he isn't really. Basically, he wakes up every single morning in somebody else's body. He doesn't have a body of his own. He doesn't have a family of his own. He just has to live this other person's life, and it follows him as he tries to kind of make a connection. I mean, how do you live in a world where you don't have the same friends every morning, you don't have the same parents every morning? It's so confusing, and how he feels so isolated from people, but at the same time kind of connected to these people because everybody else around him has known the body he's in for years. And I just fell in love with this book. It's so beautiful, and I want to get so much more of David Levithan's books because they just blow my mind. The one from last book is The List of My Desires by, here we go, Georges Delacourt. He's French. I bought this book because of the cover. Oh, the shame. But it's just so pretty. I have a thing for buttons, and it's covered in buttons, and they are embossed and shiny. It's also kind of this hardback / paperback that it's really hard cardboard, and it has these things that are just so, it's just really beautiful. And I didn't know what it was about. I read the back and thought, it sounds like an okay read, and I read it within 24 hours. It's wonderful. It was originally written in French, and it's been translated into English, and it basically asks the question, what happens to you if all your dreams come true? Everything you've ever wanted happens. What happens to the life you had? If you were pretty happy with the life you had, it was okay, it was content. What happens to everybody around you if you get everything you want? Do they get jealous? Do they stop talking to you? Do they demand things from you? How would your life turn on its head? Would it be better? Would it be worse? And it kind of just asks all those questions, and it's so beautiful. I think I gave it 4 or 5 stars. It was such an unexpected read for me. As I said, I just picked it up for the cover and fell in love. And so we get to the last book, which oh my god, I am super excited about this. Hank Green recently created a web series called The Lizzie Bennet Diaries, which is a modern adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, where Elizabeth Bennet, Lizzie Bennet, is a vlogger, and they released a book called The Lizzie Bennet Diaries by Bernie Sue and Kate Roderick. I hope that, Kate Rorick. I am very sorry I got that name wrong. And this is a kind of more in-depth look, and the little things, because they also had Twitter's accounts, and they had Tumblr accounts, and they had all these things and all these social medias that were linked to this web series, and I couldn't obviously cover them all, and this basically puts it all in one book, and I am so excited to read this. Me and my best friend Lucy were obsessed with the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, and we're actually having a rewatch at the moment. I will put a link down below in the doobly-doo description box to the series, because if you haven't watched it, it is wonderful. And so I bought myself a copy, and I bought her a copy, and we're going to do a read along and read it together and just geek out, because oh my god, it's brilliant. And that is my book haul. I don't know if I can pick all of these up. No, let's face it, I can't. And that should keep me happy for a while. I'm stuck in bed at the moment because I'm not very well, as I've said in a previous video. I will try and get a health video kind of update up soon, because a lot of things have happened in the last week. I've had the results of my CT scan, and yeah, and it's just all this stuff, and I haven't really processed this yet enough to be able to get it out. But I would love to talk to you about these books if you've read them or you are going to read them, so hit me up in the comments below and we will talk book news. I hope you guys are all good, and go to your library and enjoy the wonderfulness, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!